Hello, I'm Jura recording for iCIT. In this week's Microsoft Office Feature of the Week podcast, we are going to look at a new feature in Microsoft Excel 2007, which is called Tables. I know you are thinking Excel has always been about tables, but this new addition makes managing ranges of data much easier. So let's have a look. I have a file here, which is not really an Excel file, it's a CSV file, comma-separated value file, which is a spreadsheet with virtually no formatting. Let's double-click. It will open it in Microsoft Excel. And as you can see, it's a very plain table with no formatting, just the information. Very good. So how do you convert this to Microsoft Excel table? Well, the easiest way is to select any table, assuming that you have a contiguous range of data, a rectangular space, which is all filled with data. You can do that. If you had any gaps in your data, it would be a good idea to select the first and the last cell in your data. But since we don't have that problem, we can select any cell. So I will click anywhere within my data range, and then on my ribbon, I will select Insert, and then I will select Table. Excel guesses that the continuous range of data is what I want to select, and it asks me if my table has headers. It does, and so I can simply click OK and confirm the choice that it guessed, which was the correct choice. Let's click OK, and as you can see, something happened. First of all, Excel added automatic formatting to my table. It also added a different type of formatting to my header row and added those little arrow drop-down menus about which we will talk in a second. So what is the advantage of using tables? Well, a table is a range of cells that has special properties. The most obvious one is the ease of formatting your table. When you create a table by using Insert Table, what you get is table tools, and that means that you can very easily change the formatting for your table. For example, I could choose green or purple. I think that would be appropriate at UW-Whitewater. Or if you want something else, you can click this button to expand, and you have many, many more choices, including some of the fairly aggressively colored ones like this one. That's one benefit. Let's go to something which is a little bit more legible, like this one in purple. Okay, what are the other advantages? The header row of each column now becomes a filter, which means that it's much easier to select only the data that you want to see. For example, in this column, which I will expand now by double-clicking on the divider, we have the name of the program, study abroad program to which students applied. We have all kinds of different programs, and I could click on this, deselect all, and simply select the programs in Spain in which I am interested. For example, I could select Madrid, Salamanca, Bilbao, and Barcelona, which are all Spanish programs, not Latin American programs, and I could click OK. And as you can see, it will filter, leaving only the ones that I selected. Additionally, I can also sort, and I can choose my sort order right here, so sort A to Z, and that gives me neatly ordered columns sorted by the place to which students have applied. But this is not all. Let's change this and select all, so we see all our data. But this is not the only advantage. Another useful advantage is that we can add certain rows and columns to our table. One is total row. If you go to Table Tools, Design, and look right in this area, we can automatically add a total row. Let's click that, and as you can see, Excel automatically added a row which is called Total. Now, this might not seem like much, but if you click in any table, you will automatically get a choice of basic formulas. So we could have average, count numbers, because this is actually just the names of the students the only logical choice here would be count. This way, it will tell us how many students we listed above this cell. So count, and it tells me that I have 100 students who applied for study abroad program. Now, if I went back and filtered by country, let's say I only want to see students who applied for study abroad in Spain, I click OK. If you scroll down, now you can easily tell that there are 50 students who applied for study abroad in Spain. So that's one advantage. Another advantage of using tables is that if you insert a row or a column, the formatting of the whole table adjusts automatically. So if I click here on the left, I click number 11, and now I will right-click with my mouse and choose Insert Row. As you can see, the newly added row is colored appropriately for the rest of my table, so I could just enter the data. I wouldn't have to reformat the whole thing. Yet another advantage of using this, of using insert tables, is that you don't have to use references, cell references, and formulas. So if we look at cost term, let me insert another column. Insert. It named it column 1. And now I can actually start a formula by typing an equal sign. And if I start with a bracket, it will give me the names of all the columns in my table, which means I could choose simply cost term, bracket, and then the rest of my formula, let's say times 0.5. If I press enter on my keyboard, this is not only going to automatically calculate the result of this formula, it is also going to automatically assume it applies to the rest of the cells in the column. I will just click enter. Look what happens. Now, Excel not only added the value here, but also automatically assumed that the same formula applies to every cell in the same column. So it saves you some clicks and some mousing around, and it makes it all much more convenient. Well, that's pretty much it. This is some of the highlights of the new tables feature in Microsoft Excel 2007. As you can see, the idea of tables itself is not new, but the implementation in the most recent version of Excel makes working with ranges of data much easier. I'm Jura, recording for iCIT, and that's all in this week's Microsoft Office Feature of the Week podcast. I hope you will join me next week. Thank you.